Hi everyone, I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com and I am back with another energetically channeled video. Now, this one hit the news on January 11th of 2013 when a young Georgia high school student, 17 years old, Kendrick Johnson, was found deceased in a rolled up gymnasium mat. And it was presented to the public that he was randomly changing gym shoes after class, and they throw their shoes in these big mats, and he jumped in the top, got stuck. None of his friends noticed because, of course, not one other 17-year-old boy in the room was waiting for him to hit the bus, go home, check stuff on the internet. Like, nobody around noticed this or said, where's Kendrick? Where did he go? Bro, come on. I mean, because that's normal. But we were expected to believe that after gym class, not one other single person on the entire campus wondered where this young man went. Okay, so put that aside. The energy came through really strong. And Kendrick was born on October 10th of 1995, making him 29 years old this year. And he was, I do not have his birth time, but I looked his chart up. I'm laughing because he's double Venus ruled. He's a Libra sun with a Taurus moon. So he's a lover, not a fighter. I'm not saying he wouldn't fight, and I'm not saying he's not stubborn. What I'm saying to you is he's a lover, not a fighter. In other words, his ultimate goal was harmony, and his ultimate goal was basically just to get through his day-to-day life. And I feel like probably the 6 months leading up to his death that this was very hard, because of a fight club. Now let me get back to what I just saw in his chart. He had a Venus, Mars, and Pluto in Scorpio with Pluto conjunct Mars. Had he been a female client of mine, I would have told him, watch the men in your life because one's gonna try to kill you. Now, he's a male and he was dating females, and so this would be a male associated with a Venus connection, woman connection in your life. Right off the bat, I can see it. And he had Neptune square the sun. So he did not see other people's motivations from a street sense. He saw them from a spiritual sense, and that's different. That's not the reality of what's in front of us on earth. So Kendrick energy was very strong. He's very funny and he's very family oriented. And by funny, I mean the first thing he brings up is his sister, and that he's still keeping that secret. And I got the impression, I'm like, what did she do? And I got the impression that she was dating somebody, and he was like, yeah, she's gonna get in trouble if my family finds out she's dating that person. So he kept that secret. I'm sure it doesn't matter now because it's been years. So he basically kind of gave me the vibration of the way that he was as a young man. And none of this is what it seems. Now, I do know that there's a family that has two brothers that were also students at the same high school. And I do know that they were accused of it. It was brought into the court. The judge threw it out. Everybody just got rid of it. And it now stands closed again, if I'm correct. Okay, so it stands closed again. Now, the cause of death and what they ruled the death as, and this was so true. I was looking at one of the reports where it says that the death was positional asphyxiation, which, that's like if a toddler falls between a couch chair and they don't have the strength to lift their head up and they suffocate, right? Toddler. That would be the operative word. A 17-year-old young man who is almost, fully grown is not going to climb up on a thing without, number one, if he's putting in himself head first, he's got to be up somewhere to get into the mat, to get his shoe out, as they tried to say. And why is the mat not rolling over and him hitting the floor? Okay, so I can't stand on a chair without the thing wobbling. But of course, this mat just stood there and swallowed him up, and that's how he passed away. That's what they want you to believe. Not saying it couldn't happen. I would assume there would have to be drugs and alcohol involved in that kind of a decision. I would also have to assume that they would have been in the school gymnasium when no other students were around and no teachers were around. Being a little bit sarcastic here because it's really a dumb scenario to try to push out there. That's what I'm hearing. That's what he's making me feel like. Like, that's the stupidest thing. His parents are dead on right to keep pushing it and to keep looking for the correct answer. Period. Whether the other parents like it or whether anybody else likes it, his parents are doing the correct thing for him. And that's 100% accurate as far as he feels it, because that is not how he died. Now, I do know that there was some finding when they dug the body up and they and I'm surprised nobody cremated it to get rid of the evidence. What I'm hearing, okay, so the organs were missing. He had an exact and very strong answer for that. First of all, what was going on in this high school was a fight club. So kids were getting betted on, or there were bets against who could beat who or who could do what. And it may not have been like literally an underground fight club, but if someone had a beef, people would take bets. And there was a real feeling with the person, and there's 3 people actually that are responsible for his death, but one who did the final blow. The reason the organs are missing, this is what he told me, is because somebody fucking hit him so hard in that area of the body that it would show the damage on the liver, and the damage on the liver would implement somebody. So I am not sure. Okay, let me word it this way. If I have a ring on and I hit somebody in the liver area, in the stomach area, and I hit him so hard, is the imprint of my ring on there? Is something about my physicality on that part of the body? And if so, does it go all the way through to the internal organ? Because we had to get rid of those organs because they were evidence in the opposite of what the coroner said. Shame on all those people there for putting something so ridiculous in writing. Because this is what I agree with due to my own experience with this. But the police department, the coroners, when they write something on a report and they write accidental death, you have to go through legal, absolute lawyers and this, that, and the other to get it changed. And you have to have a supplement added, and they might not do it. Then you have to get a lawyer to sue them to put the correct information. The reason it was done so quickly is they were covering up, period, end of conversation. He's shaking his head yes on that. The other thing is, and this is going to come out before I even finish the rest. It's coming right into my head right now, so here it comes. Okay, so the 3 other boys and 1 female. So there's 3. The female didn't touch him. I mean, she may have, okay. She set him up to go with her because the 3 that were attacking him wanted to lure him in. And what better way to lure a young man in than to entice him, especially a double Venus ruled kid, with somebody that he finds attractive. So she helped set it up. I would almost say like a honeypot operation. That's way, way technical. I'm not saying that they were thinking it like that, but the guys over here are like, yeah, like this, and you go do this. And she wanted to be with them, so she actually obeyed and went and did that, and now is horrified. There will be 1 death of one of the 3 male people who did this to him. It hasn't happened yet. It will happen by their own hand. Nobody's going to do it to them. They will take their own life, and you will get your answer. That's actually what I'm hearing. So one of them will take their own life, and I think it's a person that did the final blow because they cannot take it. Okay, the whole investigation has been blocked and blocked and blocked because it's really weird. It literally is a fight club type of scenario. There was bullying, there was intimidation. There was, every time you do this, we're going to slap you 75 times worse and shut you down because how dare you put your kid in a position with our kid. So it kind of is, it's more territorial than technically racist. It's more territorial. Like, this is what we do and you're an outsider. Now, there does happen to be a differential in how he looks and how they look. That is true. But the audacity of Kendrick is what they're thinking, to come in and show everybody up with skill. So there was jealousy and envy directed at him, and that's what this was about. But it was also a fight club. Now, there's drugs involved during this as well. I have said this because I've met so many young men in high school after raising 2 boys and meeting all their friends. Athletes shoot up steroids. If you're shooting up steroids, you're a drug addict. I know people don't like to hear that, but you don't think clearly. You don't think clearly on steroids. You get big, you gain weight. The minute you stop the drug, that goes away and your natural form comes back. But you don't act rationally. The more steroids you take, the more weird you get. The more steroids you take, the more cocaine you do. And that's what I'm seeing, okay? And I don't care how old they were. I don't care that they're in high school. I'm actually seeing that. So there was irrational thinking around him, meaning they they targeted him, and it was kind of irrational. Something happened to the liver area, stomach, liver area. I'm pointing to my right side, left side, but liver area, okay? Something happened to that area of the body, and that's what caused the actual final blow. It was a fight club. So he was beaten up, he was kicked, kind of stomped on, beaten up, and it was intentional. It was not an accident. It was not a cover-up. They did it to stop him, to beat the competition. And they used a female friend to lure him into the space and to concoct anger so that they could justify what they did. In other words, in order to justify their freaking behavior, they brought this girl in to set him up. And by set him up, I mean she acted like she was interested in him. She probably was interested in him, but they sent her there. And then that was enough for them to go off in their little heads. The whole investigation has been blocked. The whole investigation. Secondly, I'm just going to say this. If you are a funeral home in Georgia and you think that it's fucking okay to take the body of somebody else's loved one and fill it with newspaper, then I hope that doesn't happen to your family, because every single family member you have, you deserve to run up on that yourself. What is that about? There should be some legislation. It's not even a matter of disrespect. And they blame the funeral home. But here's the thing, the body arrived without the organs there. The body arrived without the organs there. Okay? So to all the mothers out there that end up in the mortuary looking for their kid, look at your kid's body. It's uncomfortable, it's unpleasant, it's horrific, but check everything, because you have a right to know that. That's your kid. And don't listen to them, and don't think that it's going to be any harder than understanding that they're dead than if you see them, because it's not. You know they're dead. Now look at them and see what you can see for yourself, especially in a circumstance like this, because obviously these organizations can't be trusted, and neither can the police department, and neither can the FBI. No organization like that can be trusted. They know he didn't suffocate in a gym mat, period. I do feel, now I'm going to say this, this is also very weird. All right. So the two people accused of it by the family, okay? So the two brothers accused of it. There's a third person involved with that too. I don't know who that person is because he's not a relative, but there's like 3 of them involved. And I do feel like one of the accused by the parents is responsible for the final blow. And I do feel like it's a drug-induced type of thing, like too much steroids, like that roid rage shit that people do. Meanwhile, keep in mind, you are shooting up. If you are shooting up, and you're not that naturally talented because you have to rely on drugs just to get where you want to get, you know what kind of person you are. So if you lose your mind, it's no different than saying I was drunk, I ran over 14 people. You lost your mind and you did something you wouldn't do in your right mind because you're under the influence. That's what I'm seeing happening. Not thinking right. But let's take it back even farther. Why do these boys not think right? There's 3 of them. Why do they not think right? What's going on? Why is this fight club energy, like rah rah, we're the best kind of energy coming? Because this is what he's showing me. So where does that come from? It comes from the direction of the person above them, which would be the parental figures and the masculine parental figure and above them. This is in a society in that little town. I guess it's Valdosta, Georgia. This is in a society. This is how they are societally. So there's like a class type of rulership there where if you're better at something, you'll be squashed because these people are the best and we're going to look up to them. We're not going to have any interlopers come in here and be better. It's literally that stupid, okay? It's literally that stupid. So I'm asking, what's following the family that this can't be solved correctly? Like, why is this not being solved? Because it's very obvious to me it's not the way that it's being described. So why can't this be solved? What is happening? So what I'm getting, oh my gosh, okay, sorry. Okay, first of all, can somebody tell me if Kendrick had on any kind of jewelry at the time and if they recovered that jewelry? Because somebody has a piece of jewelry. It's some kind of, on a chain like this. I don't know what it is. I've seen it before and it's not a lightning bolt. It's something else. It's like, it's a little something that's squiggly. Okay, like a squiggly thing you put on a necklace. Someone took that off of him. Somebody has that. So somebody has a souvenir from this, and it's not a souvenir like, oh, look, I got a souvenir. It's just they happen to grab it and shove it in their pocket and walk off. The reason that there is no evidence towards this is because everybody is protecting the honor of that because he's already dead. That's what I hear. He's already dead, so we don't want to bring other people down. But I'll tell you something about that. Sometimes you think you get away with something and you get off scot-free in the moment over here, and then years later, decades later, 4, 5 decades later, it can overwhelm you and you can, boom, take your own life. And that's what I see happening. Only it's not 4 decades from now. One of them will take their own life. That's what I'm actually seeing. Now, why is Kendrick's family being targeted? Why is there a series of reverse energy going at them? The people who targeted him to begin with in this fight club, the only way I can word it, let's fight people, let's do it, let's prove it. And they're gaining energy and power. That's a spiritual concept, and I don't know if they're even aware of it, but it just gives them a gain of energy, and this is what I see them wanting to do. So they gain energy and they gain power. So I ask, like, why is Kendrick's family not able to get resolved with this? What's going on with this? And what I'm seeing is the family, the big family, the family that we all must bow down to. And that's what I'm actually seeing. And there's actually 4 families like that. So this first family over here energetically is targeting Kendrick's family. So they are being targeted even though they are acting like a victim. If your kid ends up dead in a gym mat, in a gymnasium, and you don't fight the school board, the police, the parents of the kids that you know were there, then there's something wrong with you as a parent. His parents are doing the correct thing. 100%. Keep doing it. You will get your answers. Keep doing it. They are lying to you. Keep doing it. Okay? It was not an accident. He did not climb in that thing. How about the gym mat? How about we say somebody rolled him up in the gym mat after the fact? And I believe, and this happens so much, I want to say he passed away the day before and then was transported there. I don't even feel like that's where he died. I get that he died underneath, I would almost say underneath the bleachers, but underneath, we're hidden from view, like an awning underneath. So underneath the bleachers is what I want to say. This is where that kid died. He didn't die in the mat because he suffocated stupidly because he fell in head first because he's an idiot. Okay, I just can't. I can't. I'm like, he's just laughing because I'm incensed by this. And his energy is like, yeah, my family never believed that. Nobody believes it. It's a waiting game of chess. It's a waiting game of chess. And I know the other family is responding back, and I guess that's what they have to do at the same time. Like, it's something that they need to do in order to preserve what their belief system is. But you can't really expect that to continue on, and it's not. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. One of the 3 young men, the 2 brothers, and there is a third party man, separate family, one of those 3 will take their vengeance out on themselves. That's the way I'm going to word it. Also, the young man, they came forward with a tape with somebody confessing on it, and they called him crazy, and they brought up his drug history, and they brought up this, and they brought up that, and they brought up la 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 la. All of that still doesn't make him a liar. Doesn't make him a liar. Makes him bringing evidence with a history of bad behavior due to trauma is what it makes him. And what if you are children of a very dominant male narcissist? I'm just asking. This is hypothetical. And you're children of this very dominant, my kids are the best because I'm the best. I lived through my kids, and like the Menendez brothers, okay? And you're the kids of a guy like that. You're going to do whatever it takes when you're a teenager to get the love and attention you need from that man, even if it breaks you, and it will break one of them. It will break them. In the end, it's going to break them. So this case will be solved definitively, and it's not yet. I'm jumping ahead to 2 more years, but I do feel like the female that was the honeypot, the girl that went out for the date, I do feel like she knows, but doesn't know for sure. She was just asked to date him as a decoy to make their aggression seem normal. It's not normal, and they totally set Kendrick up because they were jealous of his ability, they were jealous of his appearance, they were jealous, and they targeted him. This is an undercurrent of jealousy when you don't measure up, and he measured up. He was going to surpass them all, and they had to squash it. Problem is, you can't get away from that in this life. And the family of the people who did this to Kendrick, their family has, okay, I'm going to say it, I'm sorry, I'm seeing it. Their family has, the camera just shut off randomly. Their family, as I was about to say, has a legion of demons that follow and go after. Now, let's back it up for people that think that that's crazy talk and nonsense. The family of the people who killed Kendrick Johnson have energetic ancestral ties to entities and familiars on the other side dimensionally that are not in human form. And they protect the reputation, I guess, of this family. So when you come up against this family, you come up against them, not just the family. So, and I don't know that the family would know this because it's ancestral. It's handed on down. It's handed through pregnancy, through parent, through both sides, and the union, the marriage, and the children. It's handed all the way down. This is part of the problem. This is what we're dealing with. This is the issue. This is what's happening. So when we're looking at it, I want you to look at it from that perspective. Energetically, Kendrick had no chance against them. They targeted him for a good 6 months prior to his passing. So halfway through, so like April of the year prior to his passing, which would be 2012, they targeted him. They set him up, and they set up a narrative to justify trying to kick his ass, trying to whoop his butt, trying to get after him, okay? And they did it successfully a few times before that. But this time, it was complete, out of control. Oh my God, I punched her in the face. Do you guys remember that God, there was something here in Los Angeles where there was like a drunken fight at a ball game, and one viewer punched another one in the face, and the guy hit his head and died. I mean, not died, brain damaged. And the brain damage made him not right. Like, he couldn't go back to work. He couldn't raise his kids. He was like kind of off. That was a drug-induced fight that caused bodily injury, and so was this. This fight club, the reason that they thought about fighting was because of the steroids. So the roid rage is this is what they do. They come out and they fight. This is what the problem was. So when I'm looking at the energy of it, I can see what orchestrated it. And they are very bad liars, by the way. They're all very bad liars. People know that they did this, and people are ignoring it. The family is shunned, but not shunned enough because they have power and everybody's afraid. This is why people have to stop being afraid. You have to stand up in the face of other people. It will be found out. There is Kendrick is very sweet. I don't know whose birthday's coming up, but he's down on one knee and there's a birthday cake. I wonder if there's a young kid in the family somewhere, but he's down on one knee with a birthday cake and there's a candle, and he's wishing them a happy birthday from the other side. So somebody's birthday is like literally right now. We're in August. We're whatever this is, middle of August. So I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing that he understands what happened, and it wasn't actually his time to die. These people usurped their boundaries and took him out. It was one of the exit points, but not the one that he was choosing to do. So this is not done yet. The reverberation of it is not done. He wants his family to find peace, especially his mom. He wants her to find peace, but no mother's going to find peace because you want those people found, and you're still not going to have peace. So no matter what happened to your kid's dead, you're not going to have peace. I understand that. But he wants his mom to have peace. So proud of them for speaking up, especially his mom. She wouldn't let go of it. Wouldn't let go of it. Still hiding secrets, holding secrets from his sister from a way long time ago. It's very cute. Showing me kind of the interaction between them. And really sorry for disappointing his father. I feel like I feel like maybe him and his dad were at odds about something before he passed. Not huge odds, but he's sorry for disappointing you during that time frame. I do feel like what happened will come out, and people know what happened. Shame on every single person that writes nonsense in a government agency report. Like, you're paid by taxpayer dollars, are you not? So do your work for the people instead of trying to shut it down. The minute they say it was an accidental death, that shuts down investigation. That stops everything. And the minute they say it was accidental, when you bring up something else, it's even hard to fight that in court because you seem crazy. They're not crazy, they're accurate. It was not an accident, it was intentional, and the word is Fight Club. There were bets taken, there was stuff that went on behind the scene, there's adults, there's school teachers, there's principals that know what went on without knowing fully, and all thought it was for the betterment of the area. Oh yeah, if we do this, it's for the betterment of the area. Yeah, no bueno, not good, not true. Not true. Repercussions for every single person, and there's like 16 of them, not that caused it, but 16 people that stepped in the way and moved things like Lego blocks just slightly off so that the truth couldn't be found. The truth always comes out. The truth always comes out. It's not a conspiracy, it's the truth. They were conspiratorial in hiding the evidence and just taking what happened at the time because they didn't want to ruin other teenagers, but they were perfectly okay with letting a family mourn their son and not know what happened to him, but get an inkling. Pretty much everyone knows what happens. The time frame that I'm seeing, okay, this is 2024. I'm looking in my head on a map to see if I can get a time, 2027. And I feel like it's going to start with the death of one of the three in the Fight Club. That's the way I'm going to end this. This is my first video on Kendrick Johnson and his passing in 2013 in a gym at a high school in Valdosta, Georgia. And once again, my name is Sloan from SloanBella.com.